So like, the Switch 2 is within a week of being properly announced, and since the Switch 2 is within pissing and shitting distance, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to talk about my hopes and predictions for the Switch 2. I'll mostly be talking about the games I want to see in its first few years, however I will also discuss other stuff like the UI. Now of course this is all my opinion, and if you get upset or think my wishes aren't gonna happen, I know they're not gonna happen, but let me dream, man. So let's start with the launch titles. What games are gonna release alongside the console? This is a very important decision because this can make or break the release of a new console. So with that in mind, our first Switch game to release is Metroid Prime 4. Was it gonna be anything else? Just by looking at this game, you can tell it's more than worthy of being a launch title. And it was also the first Switch 2 game we ever saw, being revealed over half a year ago now. The only other Switch 2 game to be revealed so far is Mario Kart 9. Prime 4 gives me massive Breath of the Wild vibes, both huge, open, and serious games released alongside their console. And there's a reason for that. Ever since the Wii U era ended, Nintendo has been trying to appeal more towards all ages instead of just young, stupid children, and releasing a mature game at the launch of a console is a great way to bring in sales from all the older consumers. So Metroid Prime 4 as a launch title is a must. So now that we have a serious and grown-up game, what about the toddlers? Well, if we take a look at the Switch's other launch title, we have... Oh, you're fucking kidding me. 1-2 Switch was the other release title for the Switch, and just why? A minigame collection to show off all the wacky things the Switch could do with real people and milking a cow game. How is this game real? There's no way I'm letting this game get anywhere near the Switch 2, but we still need a new game to market towards the casual audience. A game designed to introduce what the Switch 2 brings to the table. Thankfully, a game released alongside Nintendo's most underrated console, the Wii U, can give us the answer. Yeah, see, this is peak cinema right here. Nintendo Land is probably the greatest game in the launch title to showcase our new console's capabilities type game. Another minigame collection just like 1-2 Switch, but unlike 1-2 Shiht, Nintendo Land is a big minigame collection featuring Nintendo's greatest IPs, some for single player and some for multiplayer, and there's actually depth to these minigames. Different maps, different game modes, a fucking hub world where you can ride a train. This game's got everything. I can't tell you how many hours me and my sister spent playing Mario Chase and Luigi's Mansion. These minigames implemented the gamepad so expertly well. In Luigi's Mansion, the gamepad user is a ghost trying to catch the Ghostbusters and can see everyone. However, the people on the TV can't see the ghost. So they just gotta shine their flashlight and pray to God the ghost didn't want to sneak up from behind and give him back shots. And Mario Chase, my God, Mario Chase. Whoever made this game deserves the sloppiest head of all. Like, actually premium head that person deserves. Nintendo Land is one of the most fun games to play with friends, so a sequel is a must. It'd be really hard to implement the 2 screens mechanic without the gamepad, but I'm sure there's more fun and innovative ideas you could bring instead of a milking a cow game. So there's our launch titles. Now let's move on to our next game to release, the only other confirmed Switch 2 game, Mario Kart 9, or whatever it's gonna be called. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe released a month after the Switch's release, so they would probably do the same thing again. Especially because of how many sales 8 Deluxe made. Like guys, 8 Deluxe is the 5th best-selling game of all time. It sold better than Terraria, Red Dead, Overwatch, and PUBG. Releasing a new Mario Kart at the launch of a console is a must if Nintendo wants to make the big bucks. You know what's also a must for the start of a new console? A brand new 3D Mario game. Every console has had a big 3D Mario game released alongside it, and Mario 64 is even a launch title. Our last big 3D Mario game was in 2017 with Mario Odyssey. 8 years ago, if you don't count Bowser's Fury. So we are long overdue for a new 3D Mario game. It'll probably be a brand new innovative take on the Mario formula, but all I'm saying is Odyssey 2 or Galaxy 3 would literally have me busting. Alright, now that we're done with the launch titles and the Marios, let's move on to another huge factor that the Switch 2 needs, or at least needs improving from their last console. The Switch's UI is awful. Plain and simple. What happened, Nintendo? You were killing it in the Wii and Wii U era. Every time I booted up the console, I'd be treated with the most fun and catchy or mystical and soothing music. And my eyes would be treated with this beautiful collage of things to do. Or I could just watch my Miis have a gay old time. Then we moved to the Switch and... what is this? There's nothing Nintendo about this UI. It's so bland and basic, and the worst part, there's no fucking music! Not even a leitmotif, it's just absolute silence. I feel like I'm in a horror game waiting to get jump scared because there's just no sound. It's like actually terrifying. And there's not even music for the eShop or Mii Maker. Remember the Wii Mii Maker music? Yes, you do. Remember the Wii U's Mii Maker music? Yes, hopefully. Nintendo had a music track for everything. Looking at your friends list, trying to break out of parental controls, fucking downloading something had its own music, and guess what? It fucking slapped. Nintendo cared so much that for the 3DS, they gave the eShop a new track every year. How have Nintendo fallen so flat? The eShop and Mii Maker's music was what made them so fun to dick around in. But now whenever I try to make a Mii or browse a shop, I'm trying to leave as fast as possible because the experience is so soulless and not fun. So Nintendo, bring back music, because it really isn't fun without it. Also make the UI not this dull and boring. Add some cool visual effects or I don't know. Mees. Okay, I have no idea how to transition to the next topic, so I'm just gonna say what games I expect and want in no particular order. I've seen the idea of a Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom bundle, which I think could work, although since the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, it's kind of unnecessary since you can just play them already. So maybe instead we can get one of those top-down RPGs like Link's Awakening or the Baby Zelda game, I forgot the name. Or we could get the return of the Wind Waker series, now that would be unexpected. Or we could go the Skyward Sword HD route and get a remake of Twilight Princess or Majora's Mask. I'm sure that'll please all the scary Zelda fans. I hope.
Okay!
No more ports! That's all you guys have done for the past decade. Both of his only Switch games are just ports of older games. And now yes, Country Returns and Tropical Freeze are some of the best 2D platformers in gaming, but you guys could also give us a brand new 2D platformer, or fuck it, give us a 3D platformer. Imagine swinging around vines as a big monkey in an open world jungle. That would be bananas. Get it? Bananas?
Okay.
Forgotten Well was good. It's a 3D platformer, which is my favorite genre of games, so let's just do that again. Or a Meta Knight solo game. He deserves his own game. And in the game, they could go through a magic mirror that'll transport them to the Subspace Emissary, so Meta Knight, Lucario, and Snake can team up again. Please do it. They were my favorite part of Subspace, please. Speaking of Meta Knight and Subspace... I'm not going to say much because I'm planning on making a separate video on a new Smash, but to sum up my general thoughts, bring back Subspace Emissary or a good story mode. If I see one of you mention World of Light, I'm tossing you out the window. And give us Shadow and Waluigi.
Was there any doubt?
And if they cut some characters, which they really shouldn't, just please don't kick Lucario. That's my only request. He's my main. Don't do it, please. An actual quality game? Nah, I'm just kidding. Not really. In terms of mainline games, I don't want anything. I'ma just keep playing Legends Arceus. And then spin-offs? Pokken Tournament 2. Give us a second Lucario game. In fact, if they reveal Pokken Tournament 2, I'ma play Pokken a second time. Scratch that, if they don't reveal Pokken 2, I'ma play it a second time. Pikmin, Animal Crossing, and Star Fox, I'd all be hyped for a new entry. The last Star Fox, if you don't count the Space Toys for Life game, was on the Wii U, and it absolutely sucked. And Animal Crossing was Nintendo's first ever viral video game. It sold over 40 million copies, which if each copy costed $60, that's... oh my god. Yeah, this franchise ain't going nowhere. Fire Emblem and Xenoblade I couldn't give two shits about, and F-Zero and Earthbound have been rotting behind the dumpster the moment they were born. However, there is one more Nintendo franchise that I absolutely think deserves a new game. Kid Icarus needs a new game this instant. This guy got one of the best games on the 3DS after being dead for 10,000 years, and Pit needs to be kept alive for years to come. I know Metroid Prime 4 is supposed to be this console's Breath of the Wild, but I feel like Kid Icarus could also be a Zelda carries gaming title. I don't know, maybe because their gameplay is a lot more similar than Metroid. Remember the Palutena trailer for Smash 4 where Link and Pit had an anime battle? Sakurai understands the potential of Pit in the Kid Icarus series. What's stopping you? Alright, now it's time for the final game. However, this game is something you'd never expect. A wildcard, if you will. A game not even made by Nintendo, so it shouldn't even be in this video, but it still needs to happen regardless. Yeah, fuck all of you. I don't care if it doesn't make sense for the video. Actually, Skylanders is still released for Nintendo systems, so it's actually fair game. Skylanders 7 needs to happen. I refuse to let my beloved franchise down in mid-game in 2016. Nintendo, Activision, Toys for Bob, Vicarious Visions, whoever's pulling the strings, make Skylanders 7 happen, and my life is yours. Alright, so the ending was supposed to come next, but I just had to mention something really quickly. So, there was a Nintendo Direct a few days ago about the final games coming to the Switch 1 before the Switch 2 era. And originally in my video, I mentioned that I would love to see the return of Rhythm Heaven Fever and Tomodachi Life. Both well-known Nintendo IPs, but not too well-known, but I'd love to see the return of them. And in that Nintendo Direct, we got both of them. So I'm not saying I'm a genie, but I am saying I'm a genie. Yeah, so enjoy the end of the video because it's almost over. Alright, that's about it. Thank you all for listening. Before I go, I got one last thing to say for the Switch 2. Please don't be the same person as the PS5. Please, come on, don't do this to me. Nintendo, please. Please, I beg you!
I hate Nick.